By far the most popular course that I run for my clients as a life coach is called the Confident Empath. This is for primarily anxious leaning people. This is people who are fearful avoidants, anxious leaning, or at least have a deep understanding empathically, or the anxious preoccupied. Both of those types, this is suited for extremely well. 7 sessions, 90 minutes, plus phone support in between, because that's when life happens. All of my clients, they contacted me through the week, and they're open to do that because I'm not interested in waiting for the next session. That's about content, that's about learning and growth. But the actual application of the lessons is where I want to be present for with my clients. So I'm a busy boy. Now, there are 4 principles in my coaching that are tied into every single session. The first one, nervous system regulation. This is something I did not do when I was going through my journey without the correct guidance. Initiating reintegration and throwing myself headfirst into old experiences, unexpressed emotions, without first regulating my nervous system, can re-traumatize, and did for me, until I worked it out. I don't want to see anyone go through that process without the correct guidance of learning how somatically to create that safety within yourself, know where your most safe environment is so that you can engage without pushing yourself beyond your limits and becoming actually putting yourself into a place where you're going backwards. Now, the second principle is suppressed, dismissed, and forgotten emotions from the past. We as adults will look back at a child's experience, our experience, and dismiss it because the eyes of an adult will automatically discount the significance. So this is the first thing to recognize. The next is that we forget. As time goes forward, the rational mind doesn't recall things from the past. They disappear from conscience simply because of time passing, but the subconscious never forgets anything because it doesn't age the same way as the rational mind does. Repressed emotions are when traumatic events were so harsh that we denied parts of who we literally were to remain safe, to survive. And along with repressing those parts of our conscience went emotion and memory. So we're able, through somatic processing and timeline therapy, to find those forgotten, repressed, and dismissed emotions. The third one is words and actions. The way that we treat ourselves is the way that the world will treat us. It's like a user manual for the world. And if we treat ourselves badly, in other words, we're always giving, never showing up for ourselves, always putting others before us. We might think that's quite a great attribute, but in the end, actually, it's not. Because if we don't show up enough for ourselves, we don't have the energy for anything else. We end up losing who we are, giving away ourselves until we're hanging by a thread of our own identity. What's worse is that we tend to connect to someone who is prepared to take well too much. And I'm sure many of us can say that we've done that exact thing and connected to someone who will literally take until there's nothing left. So understanding words and actions, the way we speak of ourselves, the way that we treat ourselves, many of those lessons are in my sessions. The last one is healthy boundaries. Now, a lot of people laugh as soon as they say that. The fourth principle. We don't know what our boundaries are. We don't know how to express or hold them, which are different things. We can say what we want as much as we like, but that becomes white noise until we actually hold that boundary with a tangible consequence. That's the hard part for us that we don't seem to be able to do because we just rather move the boundary than to hold it. Okay. We also have a hard time recognizing other people's boundaries. Now, if we don't know what boundaries are for ourselves, we don't know where they are for others. So we find ourselves overstepping them, and they'll tell us, that's too much, stop doing that. We don't know why. So that lesson in social propriety is an important one. It becomes easily referenceable if the other 3 are in tow. Any one of these 3 principles, nervous system regulation, dismissed, repressed, forgotten emotions, words and actions, and healthy boundaries. If we have a coach or we have a therapist or a psychologist who's going to encourage you in one or two of those, you'll find yourself looping back to where you came from. We need all four running in unison through many things that I can help you with in these 7 sessions to grow your capacity for all four at once, so it becomes a sustainable process of growth for you. I will teach you tools in somatic processing and hyperfixation, detachment from outcomes. I'll teach you about language, the way we treat ourselves, being self-aware in the way we express to others, so that we're using the law of attraction in language. Law of attraction becomes a way of life for us, as opposed to pursuit, which is something we tend to do, run after a person, which is entrapment. It comes from a state where we don't think that we're worthy of someone being attracted to us. So this is, again, with words and actions, beginning to promote that law of attraction within us and begin to build the self-worth within us to know that we are worthy of it. If you're ready to change your life, if you're ready to restore your relationship with yourself and potentially create the environment within a relationship with another person that is conducive to both of your growths and the growth of your relationship, knowing how to relate to them, understand them, learn about their attachment style. This is something I build into all of my courses, but especially with a confident empath, you'll come to the end of that a changed person.